Hi, folks. A very warm welcome to episode 12 of the Lemons and Pineapples podcast with me, Emma O'Brien. In this episode, I am going to be sharing with you 8 productivity tools for procrastinators. So, if you know you always put off doing the thing that you know you should be doing because you can't quite stop yourself from being distracted by doom scrolling or a Netflix binge or whatever else, this episode is for you. Before we jump in, I want to share something brand new with you that you will definitely want to go and have a look at if you have a procrastination problem. This is a course I've created called Stop Procrastinating in 7 Days. Give me a week and I will have your procrastination habit kicked to the curb. This is a self-paced, although you're encouraged to do one module a day course that you can find details of in the show notes. It's a brand new course I have created to really help you uncover why you're procrastinating, big problem that you need to have a handle on, and to be able to understand how you procrastinate, why you procrastinate, and what to do to stop it, and also how to set clear goals and to create an action plan and to be held accountable for taking the action you need to take to get things moving forward. So if you are stuck and you know you are a chronic procrastinator, this course is for you. You can access it via the link in the show notes. It is £27, folks. So it is a really affordable way to get a handle on what is a really bad habit that will be keeping you stuck. Let's talk about procrastination. 99% of the time, procrastination has got nothing to do with laziness or ineptitude. What it does have to do with are a vast collection of other factors over which you actually have more control than you think. So often we procrastinate because we're afraid of either success or failure. We procrastinate because we don't want to do something. There's no motivation. Or you procrastinate because you actually don't think you're capable of doing the thing you need to do, so you just don't do it. This is a problem I have with tech stuff often. I will put it off and put it off because I don't like it. I don't think I'm good at tech, and sometimes it confuses me. So that's one of the reasons I procrastinate. But let's have a look at some practical ways that you can get a handle on your procrastination and you can be more productive and be able to achieve more each day. So the first thing is to understand why and how you procrastinate. So what is the real reason you're not getting to the task that you need to get done? You need to uncover that, because when you can understand why you're procrastinating, you can start to make changes to your own behavior. How do you procrastinate? What is your go-to procrastination behavior? Often these are really unconscious behaviors that when we bring them into our awareness, we can go, oh, that's what I'm doing. Here's what I need to do something differently and to change that. When you have awareness of your own patterns of unhelpful behavior, you have the power to change them. Awareness is 50% of the battle when it comes to making positive change in your own life. The second thing is to set boundaries for yourself and for other people. If you are saying yes to every single request you get from another person, and that is filling up all of your time, of course you're not going to get to your own stuff. You're going to be overwhelmed. Overwhelm is a huge reason that we procrastinate. I think it's one of the reasons I also procrastinate, or have done in the past. I've got a lot better with it, but I've got so much to do, I don't actually know where to begin. And the thought of beginning is so overwhelming. I'm going to go watch Suits on Netflix for 3 hours. And then, of course, it adds to the overwhelm. So being able to set boundaries around how much you say yes to, how much time you spend doing work, how much time you spend on a Netflix binge rather than doing what you're supposed to be doing. Boundaries, hugely important when it comes to productivity. The third one is to learn to manage your stress. A stressed mind is an unfocused and scattered and not very useful instrument for getting things done. If you can get a handle on your own internal landscape and manage to calm your nervous system and calm the stress that's happening in your life, you will find you're able to be a lot more productive. If you were to reflect on when you have been at your most stressed, You've probably had time to get things done, but that time's been taken up by what's happening up here, worry loops, thought loops, rumination. If you can put a stop to the stressed feeling, you can put a stop to the stressed behavior. So it's really powerful to learn to manage your stress. Number 4, reward yourself when you do get something done. Depending on the magnitude of the task, that might be rewarding yourself with taking a break for a cup of coffee, or it might be rewarding yourself with a Christian Dior handbag. Whatever works for you. But we need to be able to incentivize ourselves to get stuff done. And as humans, we tend to work better with a carrot rather than a stick. So how can you incentivize and reward yourself for getting to your tasks and getting more done? Number 5, make proper use of a to-do list. Now, a to-do list is not designed to be a never-ending thing that never gets finished. That is an overwhelm list. A to-do list, when you use that as a productivity tool, is very, very powerful. And the way to do that is not to put too much on it. You might have 8 things on a to-do list for a day. And what you want to do is make sure you're ticking all of them off. Because what you'll get every time you cross something off your to-do list, we get a lovely dopamine boost, which helps that prefrontal cortex, which is the bit of our brain that helps us get tasks done. It helps it to refocus. It feels good to tick something off a list. And when we feel good doing something, we think, ooh, I'm going to do another thing because it's going to make me feel good. It's a really good internal motivator. Write the list the night before, make it completable, and stop when you have completed it. Because that also teaches you to get to completion with something, which is also a big internal reward for us to complete something. And then you can start again the next day. Don't have it with 25 things that are overflowing into the next day because it is just massively demotivating. That's how most people use a to-do list. You're not doing it right. So shift the way you use your to-do list. Number 6, do one thing at a time. Multitasking is not a skill. Multitasking is a hindrance. If you are trying to be on the phone, write something, send an email, and deal with everything, you are going to not do any of those things to your full ability because you're not giving them your full attention. And B, it's going to take you twice as long to get everything done. You're going to drop the ball and then have to redo things. So this requires self-discipline. Pick a task, sit down, start it, and finish it. And if it's a big task, break it down into little manageable steps and work on it for half an hour, but work on just that for half an hour and then stop. I think a lot of the time being more productive and not procrastinating, much as it isn't what people want to hear, is down to being self-disciplined. These things have caused us a big problem. Sorry for anyone who's listening. I was just waving my telephone. Cell phones and all of the distractions we have depleted our ability as humans to be productive because we're distracted all the time. So if you can minimize distractions and sit and complete something, you will get more done. And like I said, this requires you disciplining yourself. It requires you switching off the notifications on your phone for half an hour or a day, God forbid. But it requires you to do something different so you can complete a task. And I can assure you, sitting and doing one thing at a time to completion will get your to-do list completed far quicker than trying to do 5 things at one go. It takes a bit of practice. We've got out of the habit of doing it, but it's really important that you actually, one thing at a time, folks. It will be a game changer for your productivity. Number 7, manage your time effectively. Often one of the things I hear from clients is, I just don't have the time to get that done. And I will call bullshit on that because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, 8 of which you should be sleeping for because you will feel better. But we all have the same amount of time. And if you start to have a look at how you're using that time, you might find that quite a lot of it is being wasted scrolling through your telephone, watching videos on YouTube, with the exclusion of this, because obviously it's a useful video for you to be watching if you're watching on YouTube, but we tend to have a lot of time that is wasted. So I invite you to take a time inventory for a week. Make a note of how you're spending your time. I guarantee you're going to find some gaps in there where you could do something that's actually useful and that will move your life forwards. Something productive as opposed to something that just keeps you busy. Big difference between busy and productive tasks. And number 8, which I think is one of the things that's really useful, is know why you're doing what you're doing. A lack of motivation is a big reason that we're not productive. If something doesn't matter that much, put it off till tomorrow. If you don't want to do something, you're going to put it off. So get clear on why you're doing it. And often it's the little tasks that add up to a bigger goal that are the hardest ones to do because they're mundane and they're boring and we don't see an immediate result from them. But in which case, it's important to keep your end result in mind. So maybe there's a big goal you've got, but every day it requires you to spend half an hour doing something that you just think, God, this is such a bore. I'm not seeing any traction from it. So social media is the perfect example. I'm a business owner. I have to create content for social media. And often I put content out, nothing happens. There's no engagement, nothing, nobody DMs me, nothing happens. And it's actually really demotivating. But I know that eventually showing up consistently on social media and sharing the work and sharing what I'm doing will pay off. It's a longer term payoff. So I have to keep the end result goal of what are my business goals? Where am I going with this? Why am I showing up on social media on a daily basis? And the big why is what keeps me showing up consistently when I show up and there's crickets. It's frustrating. It's annoying. So wherever in life you've got something that you are trying to build or trying to create, and it involves a series of small things that add up over time, you have to just keep the big end result. Why am I doing it? What is the end goal? And keep that in mind so you can keep yourself motivated to get going. I would love to invite you to check out that procrastination course I have created if you want more strategies and tools and some accountability, because that's really important for getting things done. Check out the course, go get hold of it. You get instant access to it. It's self-paced, it's bite size, it's easy, and it's going to be really, really powerful for you. So I'd also love to hear what your takeaways were from today's podcast. Is there a productivity tip that you've got that you find really useful? Pop me a DM on Instagram. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me, whether you're listening or you're watching on YouTube. It's great to be here. It's great to be connecting with you all. And I will see you at the same time next week for another installment of the podcast. Until then, stay productive, folks. Bye for now.